How's everyone doing today? Welcome back to On The Ball. Welcome back to another round of Premier League predictions. Recording this before all the team news is coming out because we are flying to Istanbul on Wednesday. Usually we shoot it on Thursday, but we'll be in Istanbul. So we are recording this as of Tuesday night. So the scores on the doors are 102 to Sim, 109 to me. Did cut the gap a little bit going into game week 11. The way the scoring works is 5 points for a completely correct scoreline, 1 point for a correct result, and star man. Once you pick that man, you can't pick them again for the rest of the season. 5 points for a goal, 2 points for an assist. Let's get into the weekend's action, starting off with Brentford against Bournemouth. A really tough game to call, this one. Sim's gone for 2-2.
I have, and look, Brentford are involved, always seems to be involved in some very entertaining games, and really unlucky, obviously, to lose against Fulham in the manner they did, albeit probably deservedly so. And I still think at home against a Bournemouth side who are got their tails up after some really good recent results against Arsenal and Man City at home, but away from home, still a bit open, still maybe not as aggressive as they are at home. So I can see them being got out a bit by Brentford, who have been scoring goals. In fact, they have the best home record in the league at the moment.
Is
Brentford,
that right?
Yeah, they've played 5, won 4, drawn 1, albeit I think all 5 games have been the bottom 5 sides, amazingly. So they've been quite fortunate, but they are confident at home. So I do see them hurting Bournemouth, and I do see a few goals here. So I've gone for a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, it's really good home side in Brentford going against a Bournemouth side who obviously have their tails up. 3 really impressive results over the last 3 games. Wins against Arsenal, Man City, and a last-minute draw against Aston Villa. However, Bournemouth have only won 1 game away from home this season, and that was that turning around a 2-goal deficit against Everton in the last stages of the game. So not the strongest away team this season. They have lost to the likes of Leicester, drawn with Nottingham Forest, lost to West Ham. So they have had some poor results on the road this season. And I feel like Bournemouth will come into it with a bit of confidence with the last 3 results. However, I feel like Brentford with the home advantage and home form can stifle them a little bit. So I've gone for 1-1 in this game. Next up is Crystal Palace against Fulham. Sim's gone for 1-1. I've gone for Palace to take the 3 points in this game. Fulham obviously with a unbelievable comeback victory last time out in the last minutes of the game against Brentford at Craven Cottage. I always feel like Fulham are a very different side away from home as they are at Craven Cottage with that tiny pitch. But obviously Selhurst Park is also a small pitch. But I think that Crystal Palace's fortunes might be turning a little bit here, and with home advantage, with good attacking players there, I think they can just about nick the win here. So I've gone for 2-1.
I've gone for 1-1 just because I know Palace have their tails up at the moment. There's been a good week for them, beating Spurs, beating Villa in the Cup, and then a decent draw away at Wolves. Fulham, though, have been playing very, very well this season, and they've given every team they've played against a good game, and I think they're going to do the same with Crystal Palace. And Marcus Silva's quite a good, clever tactical manager. I think it's going to be a difficult game for Fulham, but I just feel like missing Eze and Wharton might be the reason why they don't win this game. I think if they were playing, I probably would have gone for a Palace win, but I think that little bit of quality might cost them the 3 points here. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
All right, moving on to West Ham against Everton. Both of us gone for the same scoreline here in 2-1 to West Ham. Could be saving Lopetegui's job.
I think so. I think it's going to be a massive, massive game for West Ham here, and Lopetegui under serious pressure, mounting week by week. A terrible 3-0 loss last time out against who they lose to? Who did West Ham lose to last time?
West Ham?
Forest, 3-0. Forest, really, really bad result, and they were a terrible performance. Everton as well. Really poor away results. Southampton, albeit they probably should have scored a few more goals than they did. I just feel like in this kind of game, I know, is this the last game Kudus is missing, or is his ban up now?
No, his ban's up. He's back.
So he's back for this game. That's a massive boost for them, and they've got such good attacking side. I just feel like he'll have another win just to keep the Wolves from the door for now. So I've gone for West Ham to scrape it 2-1, but unconvincing 2-1 win.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way about you. Back-to-back losses for Everton. If they do lose this, it's a difficult game for them. West Ham have actually won their last 2 home games, 4-1 against Ipswich and 2-1 in Eric Ten Hag's last game for Manchester United. And, you know, the United game was fairly unconvincing from them. Obviously, they smashed Ipswich. But in this game, with Kudus back in the team, they'll have a bit more attacking talent there. I feel like Everton could be on the back of a narrow defeat here. So I've gone for 2-1 to West Ham. Wolves against Southampton next. Both of us gone for Wolves wins here for their first win of the season. Sim's gone for 3-0. I've gone for 3-1. Wolves' defence have been absolutely shocking so far this season. They've conceded the most in the league. Southampton, we know that they're good on their possession. They definitely know they could definitely score a goal or two. But I feel like Wolves in the last two games, they've probably had, I know they haven't got over the line, but probably two confidence boosting performances, coming back from 2-0 down against Brighton in the last few minutes and a 2-2 draw with Crystal Palace as well. So stop the rot a little bit in terms of the losses, but they still haven't got over the line with a win. And I feel like it's the perfect probably game for them coming this weekend with Southampton at home. So I've gone for 3-1.
Yeah, I went for 3-0. I've gone for a clean sheet because I know they've been leaking goals left, right and centre, and Southampton are quite an attacking side. But I actually feel like with Southampton, they're going to come and play their football, and I think Wolves are going to be waiting for them. They're going to know what they're trying to do. They're going to press them a bit more than maybe they usually do. And I can see that back three, Wolves really Southampton really struggling to create chances against it. And I think because they're quite open at the back, I can see Cunha, Strand Larson really running riot on their back line. And look, they're going to be desperate for a win. They're winless in this season. And as you say, two kind of improved results over the last couple of games, albeit games they could have lost, but they didn't. They got 2 draws over the last 2 games, scoring a few goals. And I think they're going to come up trumps here. So I've gone for a big 3-0 win for Wolves.
Let's go to Brighton against Manchester City, which is a mouth-watering clash at the Amex. I've gone for a Desmond here. I've gone for 2-2. I feel like Man City are just not really at it at the moment, particularly with their injury problems going into it. And Brighton, not a team that you want to play when you're off it a little bit, as Spurs saw in that second half going into it 2-0 up. And I feel like Brighton, they had a very convincing performance at Anfield last week and definitely could have taken more points. Obviously, they lost the game, but they definitely should have taken more out of that game, in my opinion. And I feel at home at the Amex, they're definitely going to take the game to Man City. It's going to be a bit of a basketball match, in my opinion. And look, obviously, Man City, even if they're not at it, they've got unbelievable quality that they can caveat that with. So I think both these teams will go at each other, and I couldn't split them, so I went for 2-2.
I've gone for 3-2 to Man City, and I just think it's going to be a really open game. We know Brighton have one way of playing, and it's full throttle and pedal to the metal. And I think as much as they'll hurt Man City, because Man City are, as you say, well off it at the moment, they just don't seem like the energetic selves. But with Savio coming back, Doku coming back, De Bruyne coming back potentially in this game. He's on the bench tonight in the Champions League, at that time recording. So if those players can make an impact in this game, we know how Brighton can be quite open and they can be picked off, and Haaland will be licking his lips at that high line. So I think Brighton will be a massive threat to City and they will get a couple of goals, but I've just gone City to edge it 3-2 here in what could be a topsy-turvy game.
I'm really looking forward to that one. Liverpool against Villa, another mouth-watering clash at Anfield. Sim's gone for a Desmond in this one.
Yeah, I've gone for 2-2, and I think Liverpool playing really well at the moment, getting good results, but I kind of feel like performances aren't as strong as maybe the results suggest, as much as I don't think they've been bad in any game, and I think they are playing well, but they're not blowing teams away. They have been, a lot of games have been quite close, and they've just been edging it, and I feel like they could come on stacker against a Villa side who are clever. They obviously very disappointing at Spurs, but they won't want a repeat of that. They want to learn some of the lessons from that game, and I think they might do in this one. So I've gone for a 2-2 draw here.
Yeah, I've gone for a Liverpool to sneak this one 2-1. I think Villa will go there and definitely stifle Liverpool a little bit and catch them on the break maybe a couple of times. Really strong players there. One loss away from home, which came in the last game against Spurs, which I thought they were disappointing. And if they come in there with the same kind of attitude and mentality, I feel like Liverpool can pick them off at times. But I think it will be a really tight game, but I think Liverpool just about get over the line. So 2-1 to Liverpool. Manchester United, Leicester, 3-1 is the consensus here. We've both gone for the same scoreline. A repeat of the Carabao Cup clash from a week ago, where it finished, 5-2 to Manchester United on the day. It'll be a very different Leicester side this time round because they rested quite a lot of players in that game. However, I still think it'll be a convincing victory for Manchester United. A new sense of optimism with Eric Ten Hag leaving, and they know the new manager is going to be watching, and they're going to want to put on a bit of a show for him as they fight for their futures at this club. So I think Leicester can definitely get on the score sheet. but I think it will be a resounding United victory.
Yeah, I've gone for 3-1 as well. I think the new energy with Man United will take them over the line here, albeit I know that obviously Man United have been very inconsistent, very poor so far this season, but since Ruud van Nistelrooy has come in, both games have been an improvement, albeit not perfect, but have been an improvement on what they showed before. And I just think they'll have too much quality in the front line for Leicester to handle. Albeit I do see Leicester causing them a few problems. I just think Man United will have too much. So 3-1 to Man United.
All right, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, another really tough one to call. Nottingham Forest flying high in third in the table. Newcastle with a bit of a turn of form. Well, I would say turn of form, but I think turn of performance a little bit. They beat Arsenal, obviously, at St James's Park last time out. Sim has gone for 1-1.
I've gone for 1-1, yeah. I think Forest playing some really great stuff and really hard to beat at the moment. And as much as Newcastle did so well at home to Arsenal, it's going to need a different kind of performance to get a result here, and they're going to have a bit more guile about them. And I don't know if they have it in midfield to open up Nottingham Forest, who are so strong defensively at the moment. And obviously Newcastle do have the likes of Gordon Isaac, but they like to play with space. They like to have space run into, and I think Forest will deny them that, albeit I do see them getting a moment to score. But I think will they be able to keep Forest at bay with the confidence they're playing at the moment? Probably not. So I went for a very tight 1-1 draw here.
Yeah, I've gone for 2-1 to Newcastle. I'm looking at Alexander Isak in specific. It feels like he's really announced himself in the season finally with a really slow start. 3 goals in his last 3 games in all competitions, and he's really playing well at the moment. And Nottingham Forest obviously playing unbelievable at the moment. Some brilliant results. 1-0 away at Anfield. I feel like they're stronger away from home than they are at home, and I think Newcastle it'll be a very tight game, and Forest will definitely have some moments in the game and they'll get a goal, but I feel like Newcastle, with the quality that they have, might just shine through. So I've gone for 2-1 to Newcastle. Tottenham against Ipswich. Both us going for Spurs to score 4 goals, but I've gone for the clean sheet. Sim has gone for 1 goal conceded. I know it's probably going to be Dragoshin and Ben Davies at the back, but both of them performing really well at the moment. I think the way Spurs are performing at home, they're just blowing teams away at the moment, and I think Ipswich will be no different. Having said that, it's classic Spurs to lose before a international break, and it's classic Spurs to lose against a team that haven't won all season. But I'm backing the boys, and I think even a clean sheet can come this weekend.
Yeah, I've just gone for 4-1 just because where I think we're most tired is probably in the back line, where we have to play a lot of players, overplaying, I think. And I think Ipswich do have some threats with Liam Delap, and Leif Davis is a good left back as well, good in the wide areas, and that's where we can be a bit vulnerable. But I just think our attack is going to blow them away. The form Solanke's in at the moment, obviously with Brennan, his back post finishes. Son hopefully back in the team as well here. I think as well with Decky and maybe Madison playing, or even if he's not with Sarr, the way they're overwhelming teams at home especially, I think is going to be way too much for Ipswich to handle. So I've just gone for 4-1 here.
And last but not least, a London derby at Stamford Bridge is Chelsea against Arsenal. Both of us going for draws. Sim has gone for 2-2.
Yeah, I think Chelsea were really disappointing, I thought, away at Man United. And I just think Arsenal need a win here. And maybe they might open up a bit more because of that fact, because of the bad results they've had over the last few weeks against Newcastle and Bournemouth, where they just didn't look creative at all. Martin Odegaard potentially might be back for this game. We'll have to wait and see what's happening. But Chelsea are playing some really great football as well in their own right, and Arsenal at the back, as much as they're not conceding too many chances, the football Chelsea play, I can see Chelsea creating a few chances. And Jackson, I remember in the games that played against Arsenal last year, it will be Arsenal battered them. I thought he gave them a tough ride in some of those moments, and hopefully Cole Palmer for them really steps up. He's had some poor games against big sides recently. Lavia Caicedo playing very well at the moment as well, with Rice potentially out. We'll have to wait and see what the latest is on him. So I've gone for a 2-2 draw here.
Yeah, I've gone for 1-1. With the way Arsenal set up, particularly away from home, I can't see that many goals in it in terms of a 2-2, but I couldn't really split the sides. I think Chelsea coming into it in fairly good form, albeit the Man United game wasn't great, but Arsenal just coming into it in really bad form, particularly away from home. So Odegaard coming back, but I don't know if he's going to start. I don't know if he's fully fit to start the game, but I think he might play a little part in the game, which will be a boost for Arsenal. But I think Chelsea will probably have most of the possession and do most of the running, but I couldn't split them, so I've gone for 1-1. And look what we have here for the star men. We have a Tottenham head-to-head. Sim has gone for Brennan Johnson, and I have gone for Big Dom Solanke.
I went for Solanke, but you got there first.
Oh, really?
So Brennan is. But look, maybe Solanke will go back to assisting rather than scoring this weekend. That's all I'm thinking. But look, Brennan's back post finishes. He can get a few of them maybe in this game. So, I think Brennan can get on the score sheet for sure.
Oh, look, we're both going to be sitting next to each other in the game on Sunday. It's going to be an interesting afternoon.
Definitely.
But that is Predict the Prem. Those are our star man. Let me know who you think is going to come out on top this weekend. But thank you everyone for watching today, and we'll see you next time.